Hey people, this is my weekly rundown of things in entertainment news that interested me over the past week. I'm feeling kind of sick, so I'm not going to be doing too much on-camera stuff in this video, but I will be talking over pictures, so it's a good trade-off. Instead of having to look at me, you get to look at some cool pictures. But to start off this video, I wanted to talk about two movies that I saw over the past week. After recording my last video, I went to see Chronicle with my brother, and last night I went to see Safe House with a few of my friends. So to give my quick impressions on Chronicle, I thought it was a pretty good film. It feels very original. Both the style of it, obviously, with the kind of more documentary, handheld camera style is original, and the story felt original to me as well. But the thing that impressed me most about the film was I thought that the characters were very well written, especially like who most people would argue was the central character of the film, the one who, if you watch the trailer, you can see that most of the conflict is centered around. He's not simplistic. You can tell that he reacts to his environment and the things that have happened to him in his life, and you can kind of understand like what he feels. And you're getting his story part of the way through, so you don't know everything he's gone through before that, but you realize that this isn't it's not like they just give you this person and something happens and then he just does something in reaction to that. I mean, it's a series of things combining that trigger how he changes throughout the film. So I thought that was definitely very good. The effects, it was a very low-budget film, but it honestly looked pretty good. They weren't doing too many crazy things in the film, but it looked good. I mean, the actors all did great jobs. I didn't really feel like I was watching amateurs or anything. I mean, these are mostly young, unknown actors, but it doesn't feel like they were cheaping out or anything like that. I mean, I don't think the film would be any better if they casted Shia LaBeouf in one of these lead roles. So all three of the central actors in the film definitely were capable of carrying it. So to give Chronicle or a score, I give it like a B+. And the way it ended, not to give any spoilers, but there is potential for a sequel, but I'm just not sure where they go with it. Like if they keep the style similar or the story structure similar. So I am curious to see where they go, and hopefully we do get to see a Chronicle sequel, because I think they definitely made a good movie with this one, and if they do want to tell more of the story and do it well, then I'd definitely be interested in seeing it. In some exciting news, Jai Courtney, who some may know from the television series Spartacus, has been chosen to play John McClane's son in the upcoming fifth Die Hard film, A Good Day to Die Hard. And I wasn't even aware that they were that far along in the development of this film. I knew that they were talking about doing another one and that Bruce Willis was interested in returning, but I had no idea that they were in the casting phases for trying to choose John McClane's son. So this is exciting for me because I'm a big fan of the Die Hard series. I don't think they've ever made a bad Die Hard film. My only criticism of it is that I don't think it works that well as a series. I mean, it's a bunch of random adventures with the same central character, and if that's what you like, that's fine. But I do feel that in the first one, you have John McClane, and the story you're telling is him sorting out his problems with his wife, and at the end of it, everything's fine. In the second one, I mean, you've got him dealing with another situation, but his relationship with Holly is fine again. The third one, all of a sudden we pick up a few years later and everything's in chaos again, but he is going to make a call at the end of the film, so it implies to me that he was going to try to sort things out, and it left it on a happy note. Then the fourth one picks up, and he's estranged from his children, he's divorced from his wife, so it's like the whole journey we've seen him go on in the first film is kind of undermined by the state that we see him in the fourth one. And this one, I'm just hoping that if it is the last one, it will be a satisfying ending, that even though it has been a bunch of random adventures and maybe he won't have the happy ending that it seemed that he had at the end of the first film, hopefully he's in a satisfying place where we can see that, yeah, well, he fixed his relationship with his daughter in the fourth one, maybe he'll fix his relationship with his son in this one, and get to a place where we'd like to see John McClane and know that we can leave him there. I am excited to see him interacting with his son because it opens up a new dimension for the film series. I mean, in the third one we had Samuel L. Jackson, and the fourth one we had Justin Long, but he's never really had somebody to be in there doing the action with, like a kind of buddy cop film, like a Lethal Weapon or a Bad Boys or Rush Hour. So I think this could be very cool with John McClane taking the older role and his son being more actiony. I forgot to report this when it happened, but Stephen Amell has been chosen to play the lead in the CW's upcoming Green Arrow television series. I don't really know much about him, so I can't really talk that much, but I think he looks decent for the role. I don't know the character of Green Arrow that well. I mean, I've seen him on Smallville and Justice League Unlimited, but that's pretty much my experience with him. So hopefully this series turns out to be pretty good and he's good in the role. Pixar has released a clip from their upcoming film Brave, and it looks pretty good. I'm not really going to describe it because you can just go watch it, but it's this scene depicted here. So it was a pretty interesting looking scene, and I think I'm probably going to see the film eventually. I'm not sure if I'm going to see it in theaters or if I'm just going to wait for it to be on DVD or Netflix or something, but it definitely looks like a solid film, and like I've noted before in one of the other videos that I talked about Brave, it's kind of a different film for Pixar, going with more of the fairy tale, classic Disney kind of story, so I'm interested in seeing how they handle it. Keeping it kind of in the same area, Walt Disney Animation Studios has released a few stills from its upcoming film Wreck-It Ralph, which is a video game-centered movie, so clearly more sci-fi than a lot of the stuff they've done in the past. Walt Disney Animation Studios has a long history with fantasy, so that's kind of what I think everybody associates them with, the classic fantasy film. So hopefully this one will be new and cool, and I know it's stupid, but I kind of pit Walt Disney Animation Studios against Pixar. I mean, they're working for the same team. Everybody wants everybody to make good films, but Walt Disney Animation Studios made the classic films of my childhood, like Aladdin, Lion King, Tarzan, Mulan, Hercules, and yes, I include Hercules in that, so if you don't like it, screw you. But when I feel like people nowadays are saying that Pixar makes the greatest animated films ever, it doesn't seem truly earned to me, because I feel like the animated films that Disney Studios came out from 1989 to 1999 had a certain quality to them, like a certain specialness about them that I don't think Pixar has quite touched with most of its films. Like the Toy Story series is definitely something special, and they do make a lot of great films, but to me, not quite as good. I don't want to go on a rant, and I'll make another video about that some other time, so for now, moving on. There's an awesome new trailer out for the Clone Wars focusing on the return of Darth Maul. I'm not sure how Darth Maul is returning exactly, if he's somehow being returned from the dead or if he somehow survived his death from episode 1, but I don't really care because it looks awesome. Like, I'm a big fan of the Clone Wars series. Everything they've done so far has been great, so I have no doubt that this is going to be a great story arc and probably one of those that people look back on and remember fondly when this series is over. There's been a trailer released for the upcoming Tron Uprising series, which bridges the gap between the original Tron film and Tron Legacy, by the looks of it closer to the time of Tron Legacy. But while I'm not a big fan of the Tron film series, it looks to be pretty decent. I mean, visually, it looks interesting, and the storytelling of the series looks like it'll probably be pretty mature, which I like. And I like to support quality animation because for the sheer amount of crap cartoons that are out there, I think it's important that people do watch the good ones that people put effort into and actually respect their audience with. Speaking of quality animation, there has been a new trailer released for The Last Airbender, The Legend of Korra, which is a sequel to the series Avatar The Last Airbender. So I'm very excited for this, and the trailer itself, I mean, it was a decent trailer. It was just more about giving a feel for the series, some of the characters, how things are going to go. But I think there was a story trailer released a little while ago, so just do some searching if you want to find that. Everything is looking good. I mean, I definitely think I'm going to miss some of the characters from the first series, but it makes sense to pick up a long time afterward and focus on a new group of people. My only problem with this series is the name. It's called The Last Airbender, The Legend of Korra, which doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. The first one is called Avatar, The Last Airbender. So you've got Avatar is like the main title of this whole franchise, and The Last Airbender means to me the story of Aang, who was the last airbender. If they called it Avatar The Legend of Korra, you got Avatar, which is like the franchise thing, like Star Wars, A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back. Then you got Legend of Korra saying what this particular series is about. So I have no idea why they would call it The Last Airbender, The Legend of Korra, because Korra is not the last airbender, Aang is the last airbender. I mean, the only thing that I can possibly think of is that they were trying to market it by associating it with the film, which was called The Last Airbender, but nobody liked the film, so I don't know why they'd want to have that association in there. So hopefully they will change the name before this series is released. Please change it, but if anything, it's just a name, and I'm gonna watch this series no matter what, because the first series is so great, so I'm got very high hopes and expectations for this. To round out my talk about animation for this video, there have been a few stills released from the second season of Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, which feature the Fantastic Four, which is exciting to me because I'm excited to see them introduce these new characters to this world and see them interact with a new set of characters. So hopefully that means they're opening the door for more interesting characters to make appearances on the series. For my final couple of stories for this week, as you can see, there has been a new still released for the Avengers featuring Captain America, Hawkeye, and Black Widow, and it was announced on the Avengers German Facebook profile that there will be a new trailer released for the movie next Wednesday. So since it was on the German Facebook profile, it's very likely that it's going to be a German dubbed trailer, but it's something to possibly look out for because there's likely going to be at least a little bit of new footage in this. So that's really all I've got for this week. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please like, comment, subscribe, and tune in next time.